Yeah.
Did you see where they were on the counter?
How's everybody doing today?
Very good.
It is beautiful. I've only met a few of you before. My name is Tony Garcia from VCU. I'm looking forward to hearing you, offering suggestions, trying to make things even better. I've been listening to this program for over 15 years. I know you guys are doing great things. But I bring people to work with my group all the time. We're trying to figure out how to make it better. So I'm looking forward to whatever you do for me. And I'll just wait. You got some notes?
All right, why don't we play through a scale?
Is there anything
No, we're just doing 3 for right now, and then when we go outside, we'll do 6. Jacob, do you need a tutor, or do you need to bring one? Okay. All right, let's just play concert B flat and alternate. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 10.
Thank you.
Do you want to put one on
You want to go back and forth and try that on this? Let's try that. That way we'll know exactly how much time we have to give into. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this too, but there's some suggestions I can offer that'll help move it to the next level. And again, I'm just finding this such great work with you guys every year. If I didn't say anything, it would be happening. But here's a question I asked my own band. She's heard it be asked this band various years. And I'm going to ask you this dangerous question because I think it's the most important question on almost any chart, especially in a rock group. And you can't answer it, all you do is raise your hand if you have the answer. The question is, Mr. Rollins is waiting for it. What are the most important beat or beats in the bar in this tune? We have one opinion. If you have an opinion, silently raise your hand. What are the most important beat or beats in the bar in this tune, in this groove? So far we have one opinion out of like 25 people. We have 2, we have 3, we have 4. Okay, so the bottom line is, put your hands down, I'll come back to you. Bottom line was, if these 4 people were absolutely correct, we're in trouble. Right? Because more than in swing, and more than in a ballad, you expect a rock groove to rock. You expect a funky thing to be funky. And what makes it funky? Everybody agreeing on the same accents. Right? You think about, so we know that we're disagreeing. And what happens if it's in, say, 4/4, and we have half the people kind of thinking this way, and half the people kind of thinking this way? We end up with a flatlined bunch of beats that have no accent. And that's what I'm hearing, honestly. I can say that because the building's closed and nobody's here, except just us chickens, right? But that's what's happening. You're playing very well, but absolutely no funkiness is taking place because you haven't decided where the beats are. It's the difference between a pulse and a groove. A pulse is just this. That's a pulse. A groove is, what's it going to be like? What was it going to be? It's where the accents are within the pulse. Right now I'm hearing plenty of pulse, there's no problem, but I don't know where the accents are. So now let's get some opinions as to the 4 people who raised their hand. Where do you think the most important beat or beats in the bar might be? You were first.
2 and 4.
Okay, and what do you think?
2/4.
And what are you thinking?
About 2.
Okay, and when I look at this, and actually could I borrow your score because these are actually all stapled together upside down every other page.
Oh, sure.
I'm just going to take a peek here. So it depends upon how the funk is written, and I've already forgotten because it's written in 4/4 or 8 notes or whatever. So the answer is 2 and 4 if it was written differently. I hear it 2 and 4, but the way it's written, it's beat 3. This is why it feels like 2 and 4. 1. Beat do 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 gay gay do gay. I already half the band is smiling. That's how I know it works.
So
it's gospel music.
We're doing it cut time.
Yeah, we're doing it cut time. So right now,
2.
so in cut time, it's beat 3 in the middle of the bar.
Okay.
But if it was, the way it's written is 1, 2, beat do 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 do, right? So in this marking, it's the middle of the bar. But the way it feels to the audience is gospel music. Black churches, spirituals, gospel music. You know, beat do 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 do. Everybody sing the tune. 1, 2, ready, and 1. Do do clap. So 2 and 4 is correct if it was written this way, like but I think it's written, right now it's written in 1. Because it's written this way, so it's the middle of the bar. It sounds like a slow 2 and 4. Does everybody agree? So what does that mean for you horn players? What do you got to do?
Put the accent.
You got to put the accent on 2 and 4. The other notes just aren't that important. And your name on the drums? Martin. And your Martin?
Mark.
Mark.
Yes.
Solid player. Where's the first place you're banging your bass drum right now? What am I hearing? Every bar. Where are you putting it on? I know where you're putting it. Do you know where you're putting it, bass drum? You're putting it on 1 and 3. We have a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can't do that in gospel music. You got to put it, now that doesn't mean you have to put it on 2 and 4 either. You could, but the bottom line is that might be overkill. The great thing about funk is funk music, you want to be able to make people want parts of the beat that aren't there. You think about Tower Power, P-Funk, George Clinton, etc. It's like, there's stuff missing, right? So you don't want to go like, boom, 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 boom. That's not it, but you got to have, so you might, be enough. But that leaves us something to be hearing all that stuff that's missing. So we put 1 and 3 is not going to work for that reason. I didn't invent it, it's gospel music. So let's hear, with that in mind, skip over the intro because I want to come back to it. Let's have everybody play at the DS bar, which is 13. Can we have the pickups to that in clarinet, if you have that part, trumpets? We'll go 2 bars before. And then we'll be at 13. Everybody know where I am?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Should the,
Let's play it as if it's a DS. That's your question, right?
Yeah.
Let's play it as if it's the DS. Thank you. Mind reading. We're
Words.
just like this.
Use your words.
Right?
Use the word.
All right. So I'm gonna give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then the trumpets are gonna come in. And then the rhythm section come in on the DS.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you're not bringing it out enough for me. I don't know what your key is or whatever. I want to hear it from one person should be able to convey the whole rhythm section. Big do 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 gay do 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 gay. Right? Here we go. Everybody. Starting with the pickups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Wins. Where do you come in after the DS? What beat are you coming in on?
3.
Right. We need that. It's not an accident. Where should be 3? Give me some. Here we go. Same place. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that feel? Yeah, it's working, right? Everybody's on the same page. You can't have, what's the difference between a pulse and a groove is where's the accent. Everybody has to agree. Thanks for fixing the bass drum, you know. And now it doesn't have to be that loud, trust me, because again, it's all part of the percolation to make that happen. Now with the intro theme comes back a bunch of times. And we have to solve this, I think, to make it groove better. So if you play all the, let me ask you a rhetorical question. If you play all these quarter notes the same, is it going to feel funky?
No.
No. So the deal is, though, they're spread in different places. So I would say, and this is not written, but it's part of the tradition, make the last note of every phrase more important. Beep bump, beep bump, beep bo day do day do ga do. So when you have a whole bunch of quarters, 2 and 4. But right now, let's see. Beep bump, beep bo day do do day do. So when you have a whole bunch of quarters, middle of the bar. But for the first thing, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 4. 1, 2. That's going to be a lot more interesting than dot 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 dot. Make it dee dot dee dot dot do day do day do day do day. Everybody sing it. 1, 2, sing and dee dot dee dot dot do day do day do day do day. Again, 3 and dee dot dot dot. Now, short notes aren't that short in jazz or funk. Short notes are not that short unless they're special effects. So I need to hear dee-da, dee-da, not dee-da, dee-da, da, because that connects the phrase. Dee-da, dee-da, da, da, dee-da, dee. That's what's supposed to connect, right? So dee-da, dee-da, da, do, da, do, do, da, do, da. Sing, 2, 3, and dee-da, dee-da, da. Let's hear all horns only, then we'll have the rhythm section. All horns only, play that. 1, 2, 3, and. It's new, do it though. Dee-da, dee-da. Why? Because it's next to the middle of the bar. Anything that's at or near the middle of the bar in this groove is going to be important. Dee-da, play me 2 notes. Dee-da, 1, 2, 3, and. That's pretty good. Try it again. 2, 3, and. Yeah. that. Play like that. 1, 2, go on, and. Middle of the bar. Establish the funk right there in bar 3. Play these bars 3 and 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and. Sing it. 1, 2, 3, and. Sing, play it. Bars 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and. Everybody at the top. 1, 2, 3, and. Now, the dirty little secret is we could decide to accent it differently, and if we all did it correctly, it would still groove more than what we first did when you walked in, because right there you were all just like, everything was equal. As long as you decide where the groove is, where the accents are going to be, you'll have a groove. Whether it's the authentic groove or not is another story. But this, I think, will help sell it. Is it working for you?
Yes.
Now that comes back 3 or 4 times. Do it every time. And then when you get to the tune, bring out, the accents there. Does that fit all right with you, Ms. Ryan?
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to another tune. Nice work, folks. That's fine. I can't really see it.
Thank you.
Is this the Sing? All right, Victor Lopez. Anybody know who Victor Lopez, former life? What he did? He used to be he's a long-time arranger. He was a former trumpet player at Miami Sound Machine, Gloria Estefan. Then he went on to be a high school band director in Miami, Florida. Then he went on to be a high school principal. Now he's an arts district administrator. He's still writing up the storm, but his heart playing salsa music in Miami with Miami Sound Machine. He's got it together. All right, so this one you try to play more in a period style, and it makes sense to have bass drum on 1 and 3, it's a period style. But quick suggestion for a new drummer, your name is? Brandon. So when it's solo time, and really in the overall groove, what's more important, the toms or the bass drum? Agreed. And yet the bass drum seems to be a lot stronger here. So regardless, you know, new set, etc., what new set on the tent, etc., but your job is playing the new furniture, right? So you're gonna have to make sure boom, 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 boom is more important than boom, 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 right? So give me a sample of your solo emphasizing toms. Oh, great. I think you could put twice as much into your wrist on the toms. It's you know, have you ever heard Jim Krupa play this? Yeah, you had fun with it. Let your hair down. What's your name again? Brandon, all right, man. Let it down. Here we go. And if it turns out the toms are really ringy, you can try playing a little closer to the rim. Just try it just for the heck of it right now. That. He's like, I want to be that. I want to be that. Let me in, give me the ball, give me the ball. So yeah, more toms than bass drum. And if the tom's going to vary depending on what set you're playing to get a good sound that we can define and cross rhythm. So this piece is in clave. Anybody know what clave is and/or what this clave is? This is Ryan, right? But I'm not asking her. Okay, so this piece is in clave. Clave in Spanish means. Anybody know Spanish lessons? It means key. Very well done. My name is Garcia, but I didn't grow up in the Spanish tradition. I grew up in New Orleans in the 1960s, and I think my folks wanted us mainstreamed into mainland America. My mom was from Iowa. My dad was from Puerto Rico, so I'm Iowa Rican. I only know of 6 Iowa Ricans on the planet, my siblings and I. And I didn't know anything. We had a pair of claves in the closet. There were some maracas and stuff. We'd bang on them around Christmas time with some Latin music. I had no idea there was a beat associated with any of that until after I was in college. And really after I graduated from college before I started figuring this out. So the claves play a key rhythm. They're 2 sticks. And they play a rhythm that is so ancient, so old, that it permeates all kinds of music. You hear it in pop music. You hear it in guitar music, folk music, all kinds of stuff. And it's in this case, there's various variations, but it's called 2-3 clave because it's got 2 hits in the first bar. Play your solo. Here we go. This is a centuries-old beat that's important in what he's bringing out there. So that's why it would be very crisp. And then when you have your part, now Victor Lopez didn't write this, but I'm going to suggest it because I think it will make it more authentic, even in the period style. And that is when you have the ba boom ba boom ba boom ba ba, and see beat 4 is short. Even though he's got the first 2 notes accented in that passage, could you accent the 3rd note instead? Da 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 da. Try it for me. This is everybody pickups to 5. Accent beat 4. Da, 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 da. You're going to hear it in the period arrangements. Let's just try it. 1, 2, a 1, 2. Rather than beat 1. See, because Latin music is not about beat 1. Victor Lopez knows that. It's about beat 4 and beat 8. So I'm going to suggest, just to be wild and crazy, instead of da, 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 which is more North American interpretation. Even if you listen to Goodman and Krupa, you're going to hear beat 4 is more important. He didn't write it in this arrangement. I don't know why. Maybe you didn't think you were up to it. I think you're up to it. I want you to try. Four. You're up for it? Try it. Pick up to 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, a 1, 2. Good. Now everybody play what you have written at 5. Keep that in mind. Beat 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, the groove. Is it okay with you, Ms. Ryan, to do that? You guys up for that?
Yeah.
Doing that? So do that, because again, it separates it from North America and brings it down to the Caribbean. That's really what's more the tradition. And then for the solo work, say you were soloing, nice work. Now you know that your key of D is fine for the whole thing if you want to. Do you know that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you can do that, and you should blow confidently in that to make that happen. This is working well. I'd say at this point, turn it over. Let's look at the next chart. Lazy bird. Nice charts, Ms. Ryan. Nice chart.
Is Ryan?
Yes, sir.
So is the first solo me?
Yes. Toby Trevor, Glenn Carter. Toby Trevor. All right, you okay on this? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, please.
We're
bring
missing
it
a
up.
drummer, so he's still here.
All right, he's ready. What do you coach?
All right, you're in. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3, and.
loosen it up. I know you're subbing in. Nice work, good time feel. Hi-hat on 2 and 4, low quarters on the ride, less bass drum that helps balance it out. Nice solid time on the bass, nice confident frequency on the piano. I'd say at the opening you need to be sure that you're turned up a bit to the intro, to be kind of bassy at the top. And make sure that people hear you, then you might need to dial it down after that. But the opening, step forth a little bit to make that happen. Ensemble-wise, here at 42, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it musical. It's great that the notes are going somewhere. I have a suggestion that might help the horns out here. Because what I'm hearing is a crescendo per note. What I'd like to hear are crescendos per phrase. And the reason is that you want to make your music, and I know Ms. Ryan shares in this goal, you want to make your music sound like you're singing and like you're speaking. And you don't generally talk like that Jimmy Cagney thing. You know, so there's that sense that it ends up being this weird effect if the crescendos come too soon. So I'm not sure about your notes are key, but instead of playing something like, what's your first note? Okay, B flat there. Okay, so let's start going. Which is unusual if you were speaking or singing that way. Right? You probably wouldn't buy an album somebody was singing, hey, I'm talking to you. It's a little weird. So what you want to do is try to find a good way to do it over the phrase. So, okay, so maybe rise and fall with the line might be a great way to follow it. So let's see, if I look at it and sing it, I go, watch my hand. You see how I'm following the line? Try playing it that way and see how it feels. It might be radical, but let's see how it feels. I bet it's going to sound more human. And let's do it with a full rhythm section under Ms. Ryan's direction of 42 first time. And just follow the direction of the lines. The first note's not going to have a big crescendo. You're going to wait. You're going to wait till you get towards the next one. And then you're going to go down a little bit. Just literally follow the contour of the line as if it's a geographical map. Let's try it. What we have to do in this radical experiment, see if you end up liking it, we have to do in this experiment is, but not crescendo per note, because there's still a sense of way da. It's just going to be way da dee. We're going to go to the third note. So horns, play for me 3 notes, and you're only going to make a gradual crescendo, not a big one, towards the third note. Be da dee. That's all I want to hear. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So, you know, you don't want it to be so radical that it's unusual. You just want it to be part of conversation. Kind of just one gradual crescendo that you're saving. 1, 2, 3 notes right at the end. Now do the same thing coming down, because you don't want to go dee dee, but dee 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 dee. So we end up with dee dee dee. Let me hear it that much. I'll do it again. Watch me. Dee dee dee. Rather than dee dee, we're going to go dee dee dee. I'll give you a visual aid. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Probably crescendo a bit. And then at the end of it, does it come down at some point? Is it already marking? You've got a bar, so maybe just keep it rich for a bar, then drop out. The saxes come in, right? So let's try that with rhythm section. If we can solve that and make it feel comfortable, I think that would be a major achievement. 42 first time. Feel free should feel less work too. It should feel just literally, physically, and musically more natural. And there's still a little bit of wah wah happening with an individual note. Try to avoid that. Try to just go for the big phrase. It unifies everything. Then soloists, you're doing nice work. The solo material at I guess 30 is all in one key, F concert, right? So that's going to be your rich motor-loaded material that you can work with there. You can go in any other direction you want to, but you have to know that it's going to be more dissonant. The fact that the second to last chord of the 8 bars is D flat going to C doesn't really change that. You can add more flats and that'll be fine, but you can also blow F concert right through that chord if you want to. So let's vamp over the rhythm section at 30, repeat it a bunch of times. I'll take 8 bars, then who are other soloists? Raise your hands. So we're going to work our way geographically through, and everybody's going to take 8 bars. I just want to hear you focus on great melodies in the key of F. All right? I'll do the first 8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know how to play in your key of G. Just make a beautiful melody in the key of G. And when you don't know what you want to play, breathe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I can't do this. Oh, do me a favor, play me your G major scale right now. Play for me. You can only play those 3 notes. It's fine. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Cool. Bravo. Give him a hand. Yeah, it feels weird, but it's like reading your own poetry in public. That's what it feels like. After you've done it 5 times, it feels a little less weird. But congratulations for trying to make it a start, because that's cool. By playing some longer notes, it sounds more like you're speaking. When you improvise, you want to play like you speak, and we don't speak in short syllables all the time. We speak in longer syllables with short notes for accents, and that really helps make it happen as a soloist. It gives you confidence, makes them confident that you're confident, so they're not worried about you. In the rhythm section, you're doing great work. What I'd like to hear, your name is? Jacob. Jacob, could you walk me on the line here? 30, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah, so I thought it's cool, it's fine, but if you want to take it to the next level, first of all, turn down just a little bit, maybe 10%, and accent 2 and 4, so that you're lining them with this hi-hat and this ride. 1, 2, 3, and. It's all right, keep going. Okay, now you can turn back up a little bit, but you notice it's disorienting to them, right? It's cool, because it's new. That's what you're doing. You're learning a new language. But if you can do that, it's going to line up with it a lot better. 1, 2, join with drums. In. Good. Now you can turn it back down some more because we overshot it. So I got to find that where it sounds like an acoustic bass because that's our goal in this meeting. 1, 2, again, 2, 3, and. And then Quincy, when it's just slash marks, you have to be an editor. You should play far less and make them enjoy when you come in. Because if you play constantly, we tune you out. It's like gray matter. It's like, yeah, we know what Quincy's going to do. You got to let them know. That you're like, boom, ah, boom, ah, oh. You know, take your time. Rhythm section, 1, 2, I see. It leaves room for everything that's happening. And then for the soloist, just last quick note, you can blow over that second to last chord in F concert if you want to. It would be perfectly fine. It's tension that gets released in the next bar. If you do want to change it, you know, just add 4 or 5 flats to whatever you're playing. It'll be fine. But you don't, you know, you end up changing it from... You can add some flats and be done with it. But if you want to blow right through it, it'll be fine. I want you to play 2 fermatas for me, D flat and C, the last 2 bars of the blowing section, right? Follow the bouncing slide, play the 2. I'm going to play F concert through both of them. Watch me, create tension and release. Here's the D flat chord. Nobody got hurt, right? So you can play F concert right through that D flat chord and then let it release, or, you know, into the next bar, or you can add flats. Either way will work. Cool?
I like the way you say, oh, just add some.
Just add some flats. I really do. Instead of worrying about the exactness of it. If I'm on the bandstand, if I'm on a combo gig, and it's Miss Ryan's gig, and she passes me a chart I've never heard before, or she doesn't pass me a chart, and we're playing it, and I've never heard it before, all I got is my ears. And I can hear it. You've heard it before. You can hear like, oh, that's getting darker in key. That's getting brighter in key. So that's literally what I'm thinking on the bandstand. It's like, oh, I need to add some flats here. Oh, I got to get some sharps here. And I don't know exactly what I'm hearing all the time. Sometimes I do, and I wish I did a little more. But I can hear, like, oh, this is, you know, here's C. And like, oh, we're getting some flats in the circle. Or we're getting some sharps over here. That's really all you need to do to get past your first wave. The rest of it you can figure out later. Because you don't get fired. It's amazing how that works. But you know, you can't, if you focus on all the chord symbols all the time, it's hard to be lyrical. It's hard to create nice melodies. That's your goal as a soloist. Big picture is, out of all these chords, you can still play it. But if you want to, you can add some flats towards the end. I appreciate your flexibility, being willing to experiment. Like I said before, if I never said anything, you guys would play big top. But I think these suggestions will help you to the next level. And I thank Ms. Ryan for sharing you with me today. Have a great concert. I look forward to hearing it. Thank you.
What's next?
Sideways walking.
Sideways walking, you said?
220 are on the stage, and
Dance, sideways, same.
right now Stuart's wrapping up for another 20 minutes.
St. Thomas, Lazy Bird, Cold Duck. Okay, so what we're going to do is head outside and bring your cases. I would say keep your horns, I don't know, you probably put your horn in your case for a little bit. We're going to sit and listen to the band that's on stage now. Stuart?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And then we'll head on out.
Will you
Yeah. Bring it.
Nice work, folks.